Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Coral and I'm here with a very relevant video. I'm doing the Game of Thrones book tag because if you're watching this on Saturday, that means that tomorrow is the premiere of Game of Thrones, and I don't know about you, but I've been looking forward to this and also dreading this for over a year. So this tag is about matching books up to the characters. So there's a list of characters and they give you kind of like a description of this character. Like, for example, Arya. And then you pick a book. Yeah, and then you pick a book, you match it up. So why am I explaining this to you? I don't know. I'm gonna just start now, okay? All right, so the first one is Arya, a character that's all about revenge. For this, I picked one of my favorite books, a colossal book called The Stand by Stephen King. I'm choosing, there was actually two characters that came to mind right away, both in The Stand, but I'm going to choose one named Harold Lauder. And he is my favorite character in the book, even though he's undoubtedly a villain. He's all about revenge. He is somebody who feels very slighted about everything. Any opinion that anyone has that doesn't match up with his, he kind of takes that as a personal affront. And he's kind of he's a piece of shit, but he's my favorite character. Second question is Varys, a book featuring political intrigue. For this one, I picked Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I think it's just kind of innate that a dystopian book like Red Rising is going to be political because a dystopian has to do with government. Government has to do with politics. Red Rising. Okay, question 3 is a villain you love to hate. I had a really hard time not picking another Stephen King book for this because I literally could have done every question on this list with the Stephen King book, but I tried to calm my tits. I picked instead Little Heaven by Nick Cutter. My favorite villain in this is this kind of charismatic cult leader, preacher dude. His name is Amos Fletcher. He's very much Jim Jones, except for maybe smaller in stature. I think he was described as being like kind of small and round, and Jim Jones was kind of like oval shaped. But he has, you know, like the pompadour. He's got the dark glasses, so very reminiscent of Jim Jones. He's a great character in this. He got his comeuppance, and it was so great. Okay, the fourth question, the fourth tag, I don't know, the fourth thing is Jon Snow, a coming-of-age story. And I think there's either, for any horror lover out there, I think there's probably like one of two books you're gonna choose. And I went with It by Stephen King. I promise this is the last Stephen King book I put on this list. This is one of the best coming-of-age stories that I've ever read, but I'll admit, I don't know if I like them a whole ton. I don't know. I guess I don't seek them out. That's not what I'm here to talk about, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. Okay, number 5, Jaime and Cersei, a relationship you just couldn't get behind. And immediately, whenever I hear this question, I think of Ron and Hermione, because Ron was such an asshole. He was manipulative to Hermione. He was gross, and I think that Hermione was so much better than that. She's too smart for that shit. She deserved somebody better than Ron Weasley. And it has nothing to do with the Weasley family. It's just that Ron was shit to her. I don't know, maybe somewhere in J.K. Rowling's head, there's something that Ron did to redeem himself, but we don't get that, so I just have to assume it didn't happen. He was an asshole. He's a whiny crybaby. Number 6 is Lady Olenna, a kick-ass older person. For this, I chose one of the most badass females I've ever come across in a book, Jasna Kholin from The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. She's so fucking cool. I like want to be her friend. She would probably think that I'm a stupid little pipsqueak. And I realize she's not that old. She, I think, is like 35-ish maybe. But I was looking something up about this, and it said like the way that the calendar works in this world, she would be like 40 or something like that. And I get it, that's not really old, but it's older than me, and it's older than some of the other characters, especially the ones that she's with in the book. So I chose her, and you can fight me about it. She's so cool. She's so kick-ass, and I love her. Okay, number 7 is Daenerys, a book with dragons. And I had to pick one of my preteen favorites, I guess. I wasn't quite a child, and I wasn't quite a teenager. Eragon. This is one of my favorite series of all time. I will admit, rereading it, it doesn't quite stand up to my frilly childhood image of it, but I really loved the series. I know a lot of people say it's a ripoff of this and a ripoff of that, but when I read this when I was younger, I hadn't read those other books, so I don't know. When I think about Eragon, I think about pleasant childhood memories, getting absorbed in a book, and there are dragons, so I don't know. I don't think I'm very good at these tag videos. I just ramble too much. Okay, number 8 is Sansa, a character you grew to love. I had to pick this one. There wasn't a lot that, even like scanning my bookshelf, I don't think that there was a lot of characters that I came to love. So I picked Rhysand from the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I borrowed the first book to somebody, so I'm not sure where it went, but he's in this one too. And I love this series. It is undoubtedly kind of smutty. I don't think that it has a lot of literary merit. Not that that matters. But I think that's why I loved it, because it was just so easy to read. I loved Rhysand in this. He was such an asshole at first, and I don't want to give anything away because I got so spoiled for this because everyone just couldn't shut up about a dumb relationship in this book, and I'm not going to do that to you. You're welcome. 9 is Melisandre, or a magic system that you like. And I really could not think of any. I scanned my bookshelf. I couldn't think of any magic systems that were like, well, except for maybe in The Way of Kings, but I didn't want to mention that twice. So I picked a magic that isn't quite a system, but one that I love seeing in books. And it's not just a part of a series or not just something one author writes about. It is a general magic, which is fairy magic, or the fae, I guess. I love it. I love that. I love when they're tricky and very morally gray. I love when they're evil. I love when they can glamour humans. I love that. And a great example of that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. There's a lot of that in here. I love it. If you love that, definitely pick this one up. Okay, the last one, number 10, is Tyrion, a character whose weapon is their mind. And I've got a whole book of characters whose minds are weapons. Nosferatu by Joe Hill. Obviously the villain in here, Charlie Manx, uses his mind kind of. I think the main character, Vic, uses her mind as a weapon, kind of a little bit figuratively and also kind of literally, because her mind is what allows her to travel to these places. So she uses that, obviously. And I think it goes the other way too with Vic, that being able to use her mind to do this also kind of hurts her, and she has issues with that. She's a very complex character, and I loved her in this book. Yeah, that's it. That's my number 10. That's the end of this. I don't know what to say about this. I think I rambled too much. Anyways, I'm so excited for the premiere of season 8. I hope you are too. Do you watch Game of Thrones? Let me know. Are you excited? Have you been a follower from the beginning? Have you just jumped into it these last few years? I think I started watching after season 2 came out on DVD. So it's been a while. This has been a long haul, and it's been so worth it, and I can't wait to see where this show goes. But anyways, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Let me know if you are going to do or have done this tag, because I'd love to watch your video too. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, and I will see you later, alligators.